Greetings and salutations. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and it is Thankful Thursdays. As I say each and every week, we have the activities of our limbs. We ain't in nobody's jail. And let me tell y'all something. I know it's snow outside, and I know y'all feel some type of way, but at the end of the day, I'm grateful to see snow. Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm grateful to see the snow, to feel the cold air on my body. I'm grateful for all of that. And I think sometimes when you look at things a different type of way, you will understand the importance of what it's about to be alive. If you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm your host, Zsa Zsa C. Hubbard. And it is indeed my pleasure to sit here and talk with you another Thursday, another Thankful Thursday, that we have the activities of our limbs. We ain't in nobody's jail. We have our right mind. And, God is good. I don't know about you, but God is so good. And if you're tuning in, we're talking today all about it starts at the head, okay? It starts at the head. One of the reasons why it's so important for there to be leaders and for there to be leadership is because there are going to be people that are going to follow you. So, of course, we know what bad leadership looks like. But what does good leadership look like? And sometimes we have had so much bad leadership, or we have been led so far off astray. It's like a woman being in a relationship. It's hard for her to value a good man if she's been with a bad man her whole time. It's good for it's the same thing when it comes to men. When men have been dogged out by women, and then they finally found that good woman or a woman that can deal with all the foolishness that they got going on. But if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking all about it starts at the head. Because the time frame that we live in, there are so many misconceptions of true leadership. Depending on how you grow up, the person who was orchestrating and leading in that family is the only leadership that you know. So if you grew up in a household that valued education and valued a clean home and valued, bringing your best and looking your best, and guess what? You're going to emulate those same things because that was what you were taught. But if you grew up in a household where cleaning up was a secondary, where you could walk around in a filthy household and your mama didn't care and you didn't care, and now your kids don't care. If you grew up in a household where entrepreneurship was a leading discussion, or getting a job was a leading discussion, if you're tuning in, I'm talking all about it starts at the head. And I ain't talking about no intimacy and backdoor stuff. I'm talking about when it comes to leadership. See, good men and good women, good leaders that are men and good leaders that are women, oftentimes also create good leaders, whether they be women, men, or children. Bad leaders often have great leadership, but they lead people astray. See, what you all have to understand is that everybody can be a leader and everybody can be a follower. Everybody serves a duality once or twice in their life. Sometimes you are going to be put in a situation where you are going to have to be the leader, regardless if you want to or not. For me, being the oldest of 5 sisters and 3 brothers, I inadvertently became a leader. Now, I want to say this. There are siblings that are the oldest, but they're not the leader. There are siblings that are the middle child or the youngest child, and they end up being the leader in the family. There are times where you have a mother and a father in the household, and the mother has more leadership qualities than the father does. Or we have families where the father is leading in that family, and the mother is also leading. See, leadership is not just a title that we have. And I think sometimes people equate their leadership with their position, their income, or their status that it brings. And it doesn't equate with that at all. In actuality, you actually just have a title. You just have a situation. And see, one of the things that I love about God is that God sits high and he looks low, beholding the good and the evil. All of the things that we desire in life often comes from who is leading us. See, if you are following people on social media, those are the people who tickle your fancy. They are people who intrigue you. They are people who have influence. They are people who have pulled your attention and you have gravitated to them. It is a reason why you follow the people that you follow. Just like it's a reason why you tune in to my show each and every week. Even if you don't watch the whole thing, you'll get snippets. And there's a reason that you come every Thursday, because there's something that you're getting and obtaining that's applicable to your life. Now, if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It. I'm your host, Zsa Zsa C. Hubbard, and we're talking all about it starts at the head. If you're tuning in, you already know, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on LinkedIn and all that great stuff. Y'all already know, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to add more to it. Dig this. We're talking all about it starts at the head. When you have great leadership, they hold accountability. Okay, they take accountability for their actions, whether their actions were slothful, whether their actions were careless, whether their actions were callous or lackadaisical. See, true leadership acknowledges their wrongdoings and their shortcomings. See, there are people that are in leadership positions, but they are no way in shape or form a leader at all, because leaders recognize when they make mistakes. Okay, leaders do. I'm talking about leaders, not people that are in leadership positions. See, it's a difference between having a leadership position and actually being a leader. Case in point, if you're tuning in, listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I worked at a major department store, and the head of the department, or the store manager, I would say, he was a white guy. And his whole staff, majority of the fact, were black. Okay. Now, he was a young white guy. Same age as me, okay? Me and this white guy are the same age. Now, he's the store manager, right? I was a manager, okay? Y'all ready for this? I'm taking y'all somewhere, so just hold tight. This white man pretty much destroyed this whole store from top to bottom because he did not want to face confrontation. He didn't want to address certain things because he was a white man as a manager in a store that has predominantly African-American employees. Same way, vice versa. We have black people that are in leadership, and they don't want to say certain things because the majority of their employees or their staff are white, or you have a lack of diversity. One of the things that you all have to understand is that true leadership will allow a thing to float, or it will allow a situation to sink. I want you to look at your life right now. And I want you to look at all of the successes that you've had. And I want you to look at all the failures that you have. And I want you to equate them to what you were attached to. See, a lot of the successes in my life were because I followed good leadership. I followed people that had results. They didn't just talk about results. They didn't just talk about what they were doing. And they also didn't just look out for themselves, because there were people that I worked with. They didn't care nothing about their employees. They didn't care about their staff. They didn't care about the people they were working with, nor did they care about the families that they represented. See, I often understood what it meant to be a leader, not just because I was in a position, but because of the care that it takes in order for you to be a leader. See, you have to have a certain type of genuine accountability and love for the people that you serve, whether it's through product, whether it's through service. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, y'all already know what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add more to it, right? It starts at the head. See, scripture says the anointing starts at the head and it comes on down. So what that means is you got to have a level head in order to even obtain the anointing, in order for you to even obtain what God has for you. See, some of you are so flippy floppy. You 1 minute you're friends with people, the next minute you're not. 1 minute you want to be mad, the next minute you're not. Pick a side and stay there. Because what you all don't understand is that true leadership also comes with the ability of being able to follow. See, like I said, when I was younger, I inadvertently got thrown into leadership, being the oldest. like most children who are the oldest. And this is also something that I want to say to parents. When you have older children that are the oldest, don't put all of that pressure and responsibility on your first child. See, some of you had children and you think that the first child is the live-in babysitter. It is not, okay? True leadership starts at the head when it comes to mama and daddy. Mama and daddy have to decide whether or not what type of lifestyle that they want to live and make it applicable for those children. See, you don't bring children in the world that you A, can't take care of, and B, you can't lead. See, a lot of your children are haywire because you aren't good leaders. You following behind somebody who's following behind somebody that's following behind somebody. When is somebody going to stand up and make some real genuine decisions about their family? You following behind social media artists and local rappers and people that are of influence, but you don't have true leadership for your own household. Who's leading in your household? Who are you all following in your household? And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Because one of the things you have to understand is that the senior citizens of our time, those people that are 70, 80 plus, like my grandmother, my G code, my other grandmother, my grandfather, those individuals are the first to do a lot of things. And what you all don't understand is that those 80 plus year olds, those 70 plus year olds, they carry a valuable history that you cannot find in a book. They have already changed the trajectory of our history, and we had to go and find it. We had to go and figure out from undiscovered books and hidden conversations and private documentaries to actually find out about our history. And then to turn around and not take care of the very same people who initiated the very first that allow us to sit in the leadership roles that we have today. See, a lot of these politicians, they get so high and mighty of themselves and forget that there were giants that they actually had to stand on. And it's not enough for you to say you're standing on giants, but actually give the respect to the giants that came before you. Because see, a lot of people got into their leadership roles and they forgot where they came from. See, yeah, it starts with the head. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. It starts at the head. See, my mom, she didn't have time to be playing no games with trying to figure out, okay, am I going to follow behind my friends? Am I going to follow behind my girlfriends who barely can take care of their own kids? Or am I going to get out here and get on the grind? See, it wasn't enough for me to just have leadership roles as I grew up. But I had to make sure that my bark was just as big as my bite. Okay? And see, when I take on leadership roles, I give people my 100%. This is why I don't take on certain projects if I know I'm not going to give my all. See, this is one of the reasons why a lot of projects and a lot of situations and a lot of relationships fail, because people don't want to be true leaders. They want the title and they want the status and they want the clout that comes along with leadership, but they don't want to do the work. Leadership requires you to do the work. And when you do the work, everybody gets they get the results. Everybody can feed off the results. So you got to watch people who always want to be in leadership roles, but they want to take on all of the clout and the recognition and the accolades, and they want to take on all of what comes on with it, the revenue. They are the ones in charge. They got to be the ones that give the okay and the green light. See, you got to be careful of people who are enjoying the title and not the work. And I'm going to tell you this. True leadership is not intimidated by other leaders. Real leaders are not intimidated by other leaders. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. Real leaders are not intimidated by other leaders. See, people in leadership positions who know they're not leaders are intimidated by leaders. People who know they have forfeited their title. See, when I worked for this department store and I sat there in front of my manager, He knew he didn't belong in a leadership role. He just so happened to get the position. It wasn't that he was a leader. He had the degree. Because you know how it is when we apply. Come on, HR people, human resource people. They don't act like y'all ain't never had no job before. You know the qualifications of a job. They say you need 4 years, bachelor degree. You need some experience. You need X, Y, and Z. That does not qualify you as a leader. That just means that you are qualified for the job and the task at hand. See, leadership requires you to face some strongholds. It requires you to talk about things that make you uncomfortable. It requires you to hit the nail on the head. And see, some people like to avoid things. That's not good leadership. People who avoid confrontation, that's not good leadership. People who avoid having communication or dealing with certain issues or putting a situation where it needs to be before it gets out of place, those are leaders. See, people want the title, but they don't want to put in the time that it takes to actually develop the relationships that it needs. True leaders respect other people. They respect their time. They respect their talent. They want to connect. They want to work together. They understand that teamwork make the dream work. See, true leadership understand that together, everyone, who I say, everyone, not some, everyone achieves more. See, together, everyone achieves more. It's not just an acronym, it's a lifestyle. See, a lot of people will stand with their hand out when the manifestation has happened, but they didn't put in no grind. They ain't lick no stamps. They ain't put no stickers on nothing. They ain't iron nothing. They ain't share your video. They ain't do nothing. But I'm telling you, when they see you on TV and when they see your business taking off, all of a sudden they want to be down for the count. No, keep yourself over there. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. If you're tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it. I'm your host, Zsa Zsa. Make sure y'all share this video. Don't be no hater. Because if you're watching me and you ain't sharing my video, that's going to let me know you being a hater. Because I get 500, 600, 700, thousands of people who watch my stories every single day. And I'm going to tell y'all something. As Lord is my witness and as God has named me Zsa Zsa Chantel Hubbard, God is going to put me in a position in high places. He has already did it. Even when I didn't think that I deserved it. Even when other people didn't feel I deserved it. And I'm going to tell you something. People will say things about you and they don't even know what God has planned for you. People will say things and put stuff on your name. That's why I'm very careful of how I treat people. That's why I'm very careful that I'm 100% no chaser. So that way, if you ever want to go back and check my track record, you can say, oh, in 1999, she was this way. In the year 2002, she was this way. In the year 2007, she was this way. In the year, because see, this is the thing. You got to pay attention to people's track record. Tayshawn, hand me a piece of paper towel and hand me my water, please. Y'all, my son in the kitchen. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you something. Leaders, if you're tuning in, I'm talking all about it starts at the head. See, one of the reasons why I can be safe and be at peace in my mind when my son gets ready to go off to college, because I know who his mama is. His mama didn't play no games when it came to making sure that my son, who did I say? My son. See, some of y'all ain't making this personal enough. Y'all are putting up memes saying, oh, I'm going to do whatever makes me happy. Yeah, well, you still holding on to that Negro who makes you miserable. So how you going to sit up here and say that you want to be happy? See, it starts with the head. See, a lot of you wouldn't be yelling at your kids, cussing your kids out, being angry because you in relationships that you shouldn't even be in. You can't be a good teacher, a virtual school teacher to your child because you ain't happy. See, a lot of these teachers can't be good teachers to these students because they're not happy. They mad at the district, but they don't want to speak up to the district, and so they end up taking it out on people that they shouldn't even be taking it out of in the first place. See, one of the reasons why I started, yeah, I said it, is because I know what I can say and I stand on it with my own 2 feet. See, some of you play with your words and you don't stand on it. You don't stand on it. And the only thing that listen, I know the law and I know the hood law. And the hood law says you ain't nothing without your word. A man and a woman ain't nothing without their word. You stand on your word. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. And see, people will make things difficult for you because you are a leader and you are doing what you're supposed to do. You are doing the work. You are coming to the meetings. You are being on time. You are showing up. And see, people hate that. People hate when your words match up with your actions. They don't like that. They don't like when your energy and your vibe match and it's consistent. See, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Baby, with a wig, without lashes, I am me. 100% unapologetically me. It ain't nothing nobody can do about that. And so when you get to a point where you start learning about you, there's a learning curve that happens. You start learning all type of stuff about yourself. Stuff you don't like, stuff you do like. You start learning who really a leader and who really ain't. You start saying, oh, you really ain't about that life. You start see, because people, it's a lot of typewriter thugs and everybody is everything on social media. But see, when you can look a person in the face while you're in their face and still be able to stand and look them in your eyes, in their eyes, and not be bothered or unfazed by whatever they saying, that's when you know you are in a leadership position. That's when you know you're a true leader. When you can stand on your own 2 feet despite what anybody is thinking or saying around you, and you know your truth and you stand on it despite how many people are against you. I had a whole conference call last Friday, and I mean, when I tell you they was trying to give me the business, and I stood my ground. You're lackadaisical, and you're callous with our kids, and I ain't having it. And if you want a goofball, then you better go find somebody else, because I ain't the one, okay? I'm the 1, the 2, and the 3. And if you're looking for it, here it is. Because see, this is the thing. Women wouldn't have to be so aggressive, right? And so assertive if some of you men gravitate to your testosterone and grab to them testicles that you want to boast around and be so big on. See, women don't have a problem being submissive to any man. Okay? Let me make that very clear. There is not one woman on God's green earth that has a problem with being submissive to a man. Where the problem comes in is this man worth submitting to? See, a lot of you all think that sex will cause a woman or a man to be submissive to a relationship. And it doesn't. All it does is complicate things, really, if you really want to know the truth about it. Because women, we get caught up in our feelings because we all emotionally tied up into it, unless you didn't turn into Megan Thee Stallion and you just hopping on and off on whatever makes you happy and floats your boat. Listen, I ain't got a heaven hell to put you in, so I ain't judging you. Do you, but just make sure you protecting yourself. And for all you folks that's out there on the down low, going in somebody else's back door, coming through the front door, or going through the front door, coming out the back door, y'all already know what I'm talking about. Wear a condom, okay? Don't sit up here and make everybody else sick. And that's another thing. True leadership won't put another person at risk. True leadership won't put another person at risk. If I know that I care about you, I'm not going to put you in a position where I hurt you. See, true leadership is not just about saying I love you. It's not just about saying I care about you. True leadership is saying, I hurt you, I care about you, and because I hurt you and because I care about you, I don't want to put you in a position like that ever again. See, when men hurt women, it's hard for women to bounce back from that because women have sacrificed and put their pride aside to say, you know what, I'm going to trust this man. And when the man fails her, she looks at this Negro and says, I trusted you. You didn't have to lie. This is why I don't do well with adults that are liars. I don't do well with adults that are liars. Because who gonna whoop you? You got kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I expect little kids to lie because they're afraid that they may get a punishment. They may get whooped or they may get something taken away from them. When adults lie, it lets me know that you aren't strong enough to tell your truth. That's what that means. See, I love a good, honest, integral conversation, regardless if I agree with it or not. You know, I love a conversation that requires things that aren't always so easy to say. You know, some things are really hard to tell somebody. Some things are really hard for some people to discuss. You know, there are times where I've had conversations with people and I didn't know how they were going to react. But being the leader that I am, I ain't got time to try to figure out how you gonna feel. You know, well, if I don't say something, you know that, and that's where a lot of miscommunication and a lot of families get broken up. A lot of relationships get broken up because nobody is willing to take the lead. Nobody is willing to be responsible and say, you know what, I'm gonna get this together because sometimes you being the leader will cause you to have more pressure on your back. It'll cause you to feel like the world is on your shoulders when you are a true leader. See, followers don't have any pressure per se because they're following somebody that's leading. See, Dr. Martin Luther King had a different type of pressure than the people that were actually following him in the march, if that makes sense. See, although everybody was there and everybody was taking the same steps, there was a pressure that Dr. King had that Joe and Johnny behind him didn't have. See, it's easy to maneuver through life when you're the follower. But see, when you decide that you want to have be the leader or you the one who have the leadership qualities, unfortunately, it can come to a place where it feels like your burden is heavy. But God is so good. He says that even though your burden is heavy, he'll make yo, what do you say? He'll make your burden easy and light as yoke or something like that. It's something to that effect. I got it all mixed up. But though your burden may be heavy, he'll make it light like yoke. Okay, it's all up in there somewhere. I got to go figure it out and I'll let y'all know. Tag me if you know what the scriptures say, put it in the chat. But at the end of the day, God knows who the leaders are. This is one of the reasons why he says that the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. See, leaders are laborers. Let me say that again. Leaders are laborers. See, people who don't want to put in work, those aren't the laborers. When he talks about the harvest is plentiful, what that means is it's money out here to get. It's bread out here to make. It's dough out here to make. It's stuff out here for us to get as a people. However, the people that want to do the work is a very small few. That's why the billionaire club is a very small few. That's why the millionaire club is a very small few. Oh, everybody is a hundredaire. Everybody is a thousandaire. But there's very few people in that billionaire club. There's very few people in that millionaire club. And I'm not just talking about what they want you to think they got. I'm talking about real for real. They can go get billions. They got billions in assets. They got millions in assets. Not they robbing Peter to pay Paul to throw Johnny and Josephat out the window. No, I ain't talking about that type of balling. I ain't talking about strip club balling. I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about Somerset balling. I'm talking about people that can buy Somerset right now. There's a difference. Okay? So before you get impressed with this local stuff, there's a whole life out there. And so when we talk about it starts at the head, I'm training my son to go out and be an independent Black man in a world that is not conducive to accepting him as a leader. You want to know how I know? Because Black men have been demasculated. Is that the word? Demasculated? Emasculated? Where they have been belittled. And I'm going to tell you, it's history after history after history. And the reason why they come after the Black man is because he's the head. Now, ladies, I'm assertive too, y'all. Listen, I like to get them in check, but I love a man that knows how to lead. See, women that are good leaders want to find a man or be found by a man that is also a great leader. Most women don't want to be married or attached to some old weirdo loser that don't know how to make real leadership decisions. Next month is Valentine's Day. You can't be texting her talking about, well, what we doing? Negro, if you don't come up with a date and a plan, don't ask me what I want to do. Take the initiative. Take the leadership role. See, a lot of y'all wouldn't have problems in your marriage, in your relationship, if you took the initiative. You know, the thing that says, let me do it without somebody telling me. Let me start this before somebody asks me. Let me clean up this house before my wife get home because she been doing all this work. I'm talking about it starts at the head on down. See, a woman wouldn't have a problem slobbing on your knob like corn on the cob if she had a reason to. Now, I don't believe in no incest or none of that, but when my son takes the initiative to do stuff in this house, I don't have a problem with telling my son, yeah, you can have an extra hour for your curfew, or here go a couple extra dollars because he took the initiative to do what needed to be done. And see, most relationships work well when people value what each other bring to the table. Most relationships, whether they be platonic, friendship, marriage, they don't work out and they have a hard time because somebody is putting more emphasis and more value on the relationship than the other party. See, there is a thing called entitlement where people think that they are supposed to get stuff. They are supposed to be treated a certain type of way. You know, there's this little campaign that they had going at the school, and it was called Expect Respect. See, there's an expectation that comes in certain relationships. There's certain expectations that come, and when you lower your standards, you also lower your expectations. See, when you expect respect, there is nothing else that somebody can give you. It's like when you go to the menu, okay? And you at the menu and you sitting at the menu and you order shrimp scampi. And you've ordered this before and you know what shrimp scampi is supposed to look like. And when the waiter comes out and they bring you spaghetti with hot dogs in it, you automatically know this is not what I ordered. See, when it comes to expectations and standards, some of you all are upset because you have lowered your expectations. You have lowered your standards. And now you mad because you getting SpaghettiOs and you order shrimp scampi. And then you get mad at the person who actually gets what they want. See, this is why Manifestation Monday is so important. This is why I do Manifestation Monday, because you have to speak those things that are not as though they were. It's a reason why it's called manifest, because you are manifesting something that does not exist. That's why faith is so important. That's why prayer is so important. That's why having people around you that you are equally yoked to is so important. Let me tell you something. There are people that got the same blood as me that I don't mess with. Not because I don't love them. It ain't that I don't look at them as family, but we ain't looking at the same thing. We ain't sharing the same vision. We ain't going to the same place. There are people that I was once friends with, and if I see them in the streets, I'm going to be like, what up, though? And I'm going to be like, hey, how y'all doing? How your family doing? How your toes doing? Listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to show them love. But dig this. We ain't going the same place. So I can't take you with me no more. I got to drop you off because you don't value the leadership that I'm bringing to the table. See, sometimes true leaders got to know when to walk away. True leaders, real leadership, you got to know when to walk away. See, I made the mistake of fighting for things that weren't worth fighting for. And it wasn't because I didn't see any value as to what they were bringing. It was that they didn't value what I was bringing. See, oftentimes, true leaders, we value what's in our camp. We value the things that we are connected to. We value the people we are connected to a lot more, oftentimes, than the people that value us. See, I have been connected in situations where I looked at them and thought so highly of these people, you know, like, dang, I can't wait to be like them. And they out there doing their thing and they, you know, they killing the game. And, you know, they had this aura and this era and this swag that I wanted to be a part of and be connected to, only for me to find out that they were in a leadership position, but they weren't leaders. Because people have this sense of entitlement, especially when a person has had certain successes. And this is why you got to understand people, because everybody don't get their money the same way. And everybody don't have a success the same way. I never forget I was attached to a young lady. I mean, from the outside looking in, you would think this girl was banging. I mean, killing the game. Mansions, Gucci bags, red bottoms, Range Rovers, all of that. And they was stealing. They was stealing. And everybody was in on them stealing. And here it is. Everybody is looking at these people and their lifestyle. And we're looking like, oh my God, I want to be just like them. Oh my God, they killing the game. They doing their thing. I want to be like them. Only for me to find out, whoa, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that you ain't who you are? I'm straight. So now I have to understand, okay, you can't be caught up in what a person look like to think that they're a leader. You can't be caught up in what they have to think that they're a leader. And you have to be very, very careful that you're not just following people that are out there in the forefront and forget about the people that's in the back. Because see, sometimes the people in the back are just as valuable as the people that you see in the front. Everybody don't want to be in the forefront. Everybody don't want to be in the limelight. I have some people that are working with me that I wouldn't be able to do what I do if they didn't help me. See, they are just as valuable behind the scenes as I am in front of the scene. See, sometimes we ignore the people who ain't got the clout and the leadership role because these people have made a sense of entitlement so strong that they make you want to look at them because you think they got it going on. I know this because I dated a guy like that. I dated a guy who exemplified great leadership, had all the swag. You would think he had it popping, going, and everything in the world. He was homeless, didn't have a car, didn't have nowhere to live, hopping from one relationship to the next, only to be hopping from still hopping. Nothing stable. So you got to be careful that you're not following behind people who look the part and seem the part, but they're not the part at all. See, people who feel entitled, it comes with a title. See, and the thing about it is that you got to be careful with people who show great leadership roles and you ignore them. See, there are people that are solid as a rock. They are people that are so solid that we ignore because they are not packaged in what we deem to be quality. See, a lot of us don't understand the value of the things that we have because A, we ain't asking the right questions. Our attitude towards certain people are so nasty. I mean, just your attitude is just so nasty. And see, you better be careful how you treat people because you never know. You might get a clap back. And see, just because don't let this pretty face fool you. Listen, I am just a girl from Joy Road, and I don't play no games about myself, and I don't play no games about the people that I love and the things that I care about. So if you want it, you will get it. And see, people have to be careful to think, oh, because you believe in God and you go to church, or you talk with a quiet voice and you're very reserved, and you don't get into a lot of drama, and you don't dabble into a lot of stuff, and people will test your gangster just to see can they get over on you. See, leadership requires to call a spade a spade. See, when I started, I said it was because I am straight up no chaser, okay? And what you depending on what's happening is depending on what you gonna get. Because see, some people, they will say things to you and they anticipate you not to respond. People will do you any kind of way and expect for you not to do certain things. But see, I'm gonna tell y'all something. There was a time that I didn't I didn't trust God because I felt like God had failed me in areas where I felt like he should have pulled through. Um, and there were times that I was angry with God because I genuinely, wholeheartedly prayed, fasted about a thing, and it didn't happen. And it made me feel like, God, what's good? Here it is. I'm trying to live my life to the best of my ability, like for real, like literally trying to, like, losing people because I'm trying my best to live this life that they're telling me that I should be living. And because of it, I'm getting all this obstruction. I'm getting all of this resistance. I'm getting all of this haterade. I'm being crucified and nailed to the cross, and you telling me that I'm supposed to live a certain type of way, and I'm not getting the results that you say that I'm supposed to get, and you called me to leadership. What happened? What happened? So now it tells me a few things. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I said it, and before I take it back, I'm gonna add more to it. Listen, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, follow me on LinkedIn, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know Zsa Zsa because you do. Don't be no hater. Share this video because you may save somebody. You may save somebody. I'm talking all about it starts at the head. See, a lot of you all want respect and you expect respect, but you're not giving it. See, a lot of you all want people to follow you, but you ain't worth following. A lot of you all are talking all about how genuine you are, but you ain't genuine worth a dime. If anything, you faker than the lashes that I got on my face. Some of you are flippy floppy. You talk and dog your family out and then want to sit up here and turn around and want people to welcome you. See, there are a lot of things that go on with people that I had to learn and pay attention to. I had to stop looking at what's going on here on the outside and tap into that heart. See, in order for us to do greater things, because God said that we were going to do greater things in him. Okay, right? God said that we were going to do greater things in him. And God also said that we were going to have more and do more than what he has done. So if the God that I serve has created the heavens and the earth, the stars, the sand, the sea, so I'm going to do some great things. And you're saying that I have the propensity to do greater things. So what that tells me is that God has given all of us the ability and the key to do some really great leadership things, but yet we choose to hate on each other, hinder each other, cause obstructions for one another. But we're talking about leadership. And I'm going to tell you something. I told myself that for the year 2021, my number one goal is not to make bad decisions, to make the best decisions that are best for me. See, I made a lot of decisions in my life thinking as a leader that these were the best decisions because I was making these decisions based on what I was attaching myself to. When my mother passed away and I had to take on the leadership role that my mother once had, I made decisions based on the people I was serving. One of the things that I have decided to do, and I implore you to do the same, is that you start making decisions that are best suited for you. See, I have lived with so much regret, not because of the people it involved, but the decision that I made regarding the people. I made decisions based off of how my sisters felt, how my son felt, what his dad didn't do. I made decisions based upon what they didn't do. And see, at the end of the day, sometimes you are going to have to stand on your own 2 feet and say, you know what? Enough is enough. I got to make an executive decision for me, for my peace of mind, for my sanity, for my love, for the people that I'm governing and the people that I'm serving. Because when people don't value your leadership, they'll show you they don't value you. They'll talk about you behind your back and think that it won't come back to you. They'll throw you under the bus and be standing right there talking about with a first aid kit, talking about, hey, are you okay? Do you need a bandaid? No, you're the one who threw me under the bus. And see, sometimes people will do dirty stuff and think it won't come back. I serve a God that will show me things that are done in the dark. And I'm telling you, he'll drop it right off on my lap. He'll drop off the name. He'll drop off the address, whether it's an email, a home. Let me tell you something. The God that I serve, me and him are so intertwined that I can ask God anything. And he will show me. It may not be when I want him to, but he'll show me exactly what I need to. He'll let me know the kind of conversations that we're having. He'll let me know everything. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to, I said it before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking all about it starts at the head. Listen, I want you guys to make sure that you support this event that I have coming up. I'm hosting an event. It is called the Strut, and it is a support of human sex trafficking. Because I'm going to tell you something. Sex trafficking increased during the pandemic. Okay, it didn't decrease, it increased. And for all of you out there that's so high and mighty and think that you so bombing.com, you make sure that you're checking on your little cousins and your little nieces and your nephews and all these people that's walking with their heads down and got their cell phones in their hand and not paying attention, because guess what? They will kidnap you, your nephew, your little cousin too, and not think twice about it, because the almighty dollar bill is still leading. And people that are in leadership roles, they will trade on you for $1. That's why I'm always very conscientious of the people that I keep around me. Because if you can be two-faced and fake and we ain't got no money, then I wouldn't even dare put you around some money, because you will sell me out. You will turn on me. So I pay attention to what people do when I ain't got the money. When things don't look so well. When things aren't so good, that's when you know who has true leadership. That's when you know who's really the leader and who's the follower. When you don't get paid for the things that you do. See, I was put in a situation because I know proper planning prevents poor performance. And see, when it comes to this event that I'm hosting called the Strut, and I'm going to add the link to this particular site if you would like to participate. It is a Strut. It is a fashion show for our local Detroit fashion designers. And we are pretty much bringing the initiative and raising money to support programs that are catered to actually going out, okay? Not talking about it. Talking about action. Okay, I ain't talking about no words, and I ain't talking about what somebody said they're gonna do. I'm talking about what the people that are doing. Because those young ladies that were found in Texas and those young men that were rescued in Texas, they were real victims of sex trafficking. This ain't a joke. This ain't a game. And see, I want to live my life in a way where I'm not regretting any more decisions. I'm not regretting keeping people around. I'm not regretting snipping the cord if I got to. And let me be very clear. I ain't blocking not a single soul. You're going to see this come up. You're going to see this success. You're going to have to watch it. Because if I had to cut you off, it was a reason why I had to cut you off. And then there's another thing too. Sometimes God don't allow you to cut people off. He will do the cutting for you because you won't let go. And so if there is a prayer that you are asking God for, in order for that prayer to manifest, there are key players that are in your circle right now that will block you from being your best person that you are supposed to be, because you got connected to somebody that you weren't supposed to. We're talking about it starts at the head. When you have good leadership in a man and good leadership in a woman, you end up having a good family, a fruitful family. How do I know this? Because the apple don't fall too far from the tree. When you have blessed children, it's because the parent or the parents or the guardian or guardians are the ones that are blessed. See, one of the reasons why when people tell me about my son and how mannerable he is and how he's this and how he's that, I know that I put in the work to make sure, as well as the whoopings, okay? To make sure that he exemplified what it meant to be a true leader as a man. I taught my son that you are not going to be persuaded or entertained by somebody's tag on their shirt, or they tag in their pants, or the brand name of their shoes, or the glasses that they wear on their face. No, that doesn't make you a man. How many women that you sleep with and put on your roster, that does not make you a leader. And just because you have kids, that don't make you a mama. So there are a lot of things that we need to know when it comes to leadership. And leadership starts with the head. It starts with the head on down. Any successful business starts with the CEO on down. Any successful marriage starts with the people that's in that marriage on down. Let me tell you something. If you want to know why something is not successful, look at the leaders that are leading it. If you want to know why something ain't the way it's supposed to be, look at the leadership that is in that role. If you are feeling uneasy about anything that's going on with you and you ain't asking the right questions to those leaders, you are going to continue to feel uneasy. If your boss is making you feel uneasy on your job, it's because you have not asked the right questions to the people in leadership. You ain't speaking up. If your marriage is in shambles, it's because you have not addressed to the powers that be in the leaders in that relationship. See, real leaders address real problems. Ain't nobody gonna come in my household and tell me how to run my household. You know why? Because I'm the leader of my household. And when my husband come again, guess what? Then we'll be the leaders of our household. And he'll be the leader of our household. Until then, ain't nobody about to come into my space and run what I got going on. See, some of y'all are being ran by people that shouldn't be running your stuff. And then you get mad. They telling me what to do. We're all in a learning curve right now. We're in a learning curve. And to be quite frank, a lot of people have more power than they really know that they have. A lot of you have a lot more knowledge on a lot of different things than you do, but because you are not in a leadership role and you have not stood up to go after that leadership role, you're going to keep being in the back. And being in the back, it ain't always bad if you want to stay there and not grow. But sometimes you're going to have to push yourself to the front. You're going to have to make your way through the crowd. Let me tell you something. When Barack Obama came to Detroit and I had my media pass to go into that school, I pressed my way to the front. Okay? Did that mean I was supposed to be there? No. Did that mean that my seat was over there? Yes. But I wasn't taking no for an answer. See, I was pressing my way to the front. Do I have all the money that I want right now? No. But does that stop me from still pressing my way to get my TV show on syndicated TV? And by the way, I have a really, 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 really big announcement on Friday. I just want to let you also know, when you are a true leader, can't nobody stop you. Nobody. Nobody and nothing. When you have been given God-given authority to be a leader, and I'm going to tell you something. Leaders recognize real leaders. Real recognize real, okay? And real recognize fake too. See, because I am so intertwined with Zsa Zsa, I know when somebody is giving Zsa Zsa fake love. I know when somebody is giving Zsa Zsa fake whatever. I know when somebody is not giving me their best, when they have given me their best before. I know when somebody is playing with me. See, that's why you got to be so in tune with yourself as a leader so that people know when they can and cannot try to play with you. People know not to play with me because I have made it a point not to play with me. So at the end of the day, if people playing with your emotions, playing with your feelings, playing with your time, playing with your emotions, it's because you have not stepped into a leadership role to tell these folks, stop playing with me. I don't play with people. I play with toys and I play with kids. but I don't play with people. And I'm not playing with my dreams. I'm not playing about my health. I'm not playing about my time. I'm not playing about nothing that's connected to me. And see, some of you all aren't being taken seriously because you ain't taking yourself seriously. You ain't being taken seriously because you ain't taking yourself seriously, honey. That man doing what he doing to you because you're allowing it. That woman doing what she doing to you because you allowing it. Them kids doing what they want to do because you allowing it. Your house nasty because you allowed it. Your business is going under, it's because you allowed it. You have allowed yourself to attach yourself to things and people who mean you no good. And true leadership recognizes when it's no good. Sometimes you are going to have to let go of a thing before that thing lets go of you. Now listen, I want you to understand something. The enemy don't want you to be great. He don't want you to save the people in your community. He don't want you to help the youth that you love so much. Let me tell you something. There is forces in this world that are good and they are evil, and they are constantly in a battle. We all are. Listen, there are parts of me that are great and they are good. And then there are parts of me that want to be very, very bad. And I have to get that bad girl in check so that that bad girl don't make bad decisions that the good girl is going to have to deal with. So because I recognize that about me, I also recognize that the devil is in the details. The devil is in the details. He will get you off your square with a very little bitty thing. I have a student. She's amazing. She's done some really great things, but the devil got her because of the details. She couldn't focus on her focus because she got caught up in the details. See, one of the things that I've learned when it comes to being a leader, and please excuse my eyes, I keep watering because I got allergies. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. I'm talking all about it starts at the head. Make sure y'all check out the Strut and support the human trafficking event. I'll be hosting it on Sunday. I'm going to go live a few times as well as put the link in here. Also, if you are looking to get married, renew your vows, or have a private wedding reception or a wedding, if you're looking to get married for Valentine's Day or have me be a part of your ceremony, we are taking clients for Valentine's Day for the month of February. And I do have some really, really great deals. So if you know anybody that's getting engaged or got engaged or want to get married, make sure you book me. Also, the Kelly's Kids Foundation is having our annual Hustle for Your Heart next month. That information is going to be coming to you very, very soon. And make sure that you check out my TV show Friday at 8 p.m. Uncommon Conversations with Zsa Zsa. I have a really, really, really special guest that's going to be on my show. Her name is Carlita Ellis. And she was an amazing guest. I mean, a Black woman who has a product that she had been working on for 2 years, y'all. 2 years for this product. And she is really doing some really great things. So you don't want to miss that out. I'll also add the link. And make sure y'all share my stuff. Don't be a hater. Share my stuff. If we ain't hating on each other and Black Lives Matter, make sure y'all share this. Okay? Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Put your money where your mouth is, because I do. Anywho, understand that the devil is in the details. Understand that know the plan. Know the plan, know the goal, know the strategy. And if you don't know the plan, and if you don't know the goal, and you don't know a strategy, link up with somebody that do. See, sometimes you got to understand that everybody ain't meant to be a leader in every season. There are times that I'm in situations that I want to be the leader, and I get it, and I know how to lead, and I know how to do it, but there are times where I have to fall back, and you got to let somebody else take the lead so that other people can step up to the plate, so that they can tap into their leadership. Being a leader also is important to understand that it's okay to follow. And sometimes when you follow, it's okay to step up to lead. Listen, if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It. Before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. Listen, I love y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel because I need 1,000 subscribers. And I am working on that this quarter. We're getting 1,000 subscribers. And I suggest you get 1,000 subscribers too. If y'all know what I'm talking about, I ain't no hater free game. Listen, before I take it back, y'all already know what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do? I'm going to add more to it, right? Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love y'all so very, very much. And I will talk to y'all next week. Peace.